the room is quiet now. Nothing is expected of you. There is nowhere you need to go, and nothing you need to follow. You are simply here, resting inside a softly lit room at night. A single lamp is on. Its light is warm, steady, and calm. It does not flicker. It does not demand attention. It is only present, gently filling the room with a low, amber glow. The walls hold the light without reflecting it back sharply. Shadows remain soft, settled into the corners where they belong. Nothing moves suddenly. Nothing interrupts the stillness. You may notice the air in the room. It feels neutral and easy to breathe. Each breath arrives on its own, without effort. There is no need to change it. Outside, the night continues quietly. Inside, this room remains separate from the rest of the world. The lamp rests on a simple surface. It has been here before you arrived. It will remain after you fall asleep. Its purpose is uncomplicated, to be on, and nothing more. You do not need to think about the lamp. You do not need to imagine anything new. It is enough to know that it is there. The floor beneath you is still. The space around you feels contained, protected, complete. There are no open questions here. If your thoughts wander, that is fine. They do not need to be corrected or followed. They can pass through the room like distant echoes, fading as they move away. The light remains unchanged. The night outside does not enter this space. Sounds, if they exist at all, are far away and muted. They do not carry meaning. They do not require attention. You may notice a sense of slowness beginning to settle. Not heaviness, only a gentle reduction of urgency. The pace of the room is unhurried. Time is not moving in any direction that matters. The lamp continues to glow. You do not need to stay awake to listen. You do not need to remember what is being said. There is no story to hold on to. This is only a quiet presence, moving alongside you as rest begins. Breathing remains steady. In and out. Unforced. Unnoticed. Your body can rest in the way it already knows how to. Muscles soften without instruction. Awareness slowly lowers, like dimming lights at the end of the day. Nothing is being guided. Nothing is being counted. Nothing is being watched. The room accepts stillness easily. The lamp's light does not change as time passes. It does not grow brighter. It does not fade. It simply continues. If thoughts appear, they are allowed. If they dissolve, that is also allowed. There is no difference between the two. The night remains quiet. You may sense the edges of the room less clearly now. Not because they are gone, but because they no longer matter. The space feels complete without being observed. The lamp remains a steady point. Not something to focus on. Not something to imagine. Just something that exists. There is nothing to wait for. Rest does not arrive suddenly. It unfolds slowly, naturally, without announcement. Like darkness settling evenly across a familiar place. The room stays the same. The light stays warm. The night stays calm. You are not required to stay present. You are not required to let go. Sleep will find its way here on its own. The lamp will still be lit when awareness drifts. The room will remain quiet when thoughts become distant. Nothing needs to be finished. Nothing needs to begin. The lamp continues to glow in the room. Its light has not changed, and it will not change. It does not react to time passing, or to the quiet settling deeper around you. Nothing new enters the space. Nothing leaves it either. The room feels settled, as if it has already decided how the night will unfold. There is no need to check anything. No need to adjust your position, unless it happens naturally on its own. The air remains still. Not heavy, not thin. Just present. Breathing continues without instruction. Each breath arrives softly, then leaves in the same quiet way. There is no rhythm you need to follow. No pace to keep. The lamp does not watch. It does not guide. It simply remains, a small, steady point of warmth in the darkness. You may notice that the edges of thought are less defined now. Ideas do not connect the way they did before. They drift, pause, and sometimes stop without conclusion. That is fine. Nothing here needs clarity. Nothing needs resolution. The room does not ask who you are or what you were doing earlier. Those details have no relevance here. They are already outside this space. The night continues beyond the walls, but it feels distant. Muted. As if separated by a layer of quiet that nothing crosses. The lamp's light touches the nearby surfaces gently. It does not sharpen shadows. It softens them. The table, the floor, the walls, all remain where they are. There is no sense of movement. No signal that something should happen next. Time does not feel measured here. It does not move forward or backward. It simply rests. If awareness drifts inward, that is fine. If it drifts outward, that is also fine. Neither direction matters. The room accepts both equally. The lamp continues to glow. There is no story unfolding. No images need to be formed. No scenes to imagine or follow. You do not need to listen closely. You do not need to stay alert. This space allows attention to loosen naturally. Without effort. without intention. Breathing remains steady, quiet, unnoticed. The body does what it knows how to do when nothing interrupts it. Muscles soften on their own. Small tensions release without instruction. There is no signal when this happens. No moment to observe. The lamp does not mark progress. It does not indicate how close sleep may be. It simply stays the same. Thoughts may become less complete now. Fragments without endings. Ideas without weight. They do not need to be finished. The room does not respond to them. It remains unchanged, calm, and steady. The night feels wide outside, but narrow here. Contained. Safe in its simplicity. The lamp's glow does not compete with darkness. It coexists with it. Nothing grows brighter. Nothing fades away. There is no instruction to follow from this point. No next step. Rest does not require permission. It does not need to be invited. It simply arrives when awareness no longer insists on staying awake. The room will remain when that happens. The lamp will remain as well. You do not need to remember this moment. You do not need to hold on to it. The quiet does not disappear when attention fades. It deepens. The lamp stays lit. The room stays still. The night continues without disturbance. Nothing else is required. The room does not change as time passes. The lamp remains lit, steady and quiet, as if it has always been this way. Nothing in the space suggests movement or intention. There is no signal that something should begin, and no sign that anything needs to end. The light from the lamp settles gently across the room. It does not reach far. It does not try to fill every corner. It stays close, creating a small, contained area of calm. The rest of the room remains dim, but not uncertain. Shadows are soft and familiar. They do not shift or stretch. They simply remain where they are. Breathing continues in the background of awareness. Not something to notice closely. Not something to follow. It happens on its own, quietly and consistently. The air feels stable. Neither cool nor warm enough to demand attention. It supports stillness without effort. The lamp does not cast sharp reflections. Surfaces nearby absorb the light easily, without glare. Nothing feels exposed. Nothing feels hidden. The room seems to have no purpose beyond rest. It does not hold memories. It does not invite thought. It simply exists as it is. If thoughts appear, they arrive without urgency. They do not form complete ideas. They pause midway, then fade without needing to be resolved. There is no need to follow them. The night outside remains distant. Whatever happens beyond the walls feels unrelated to this space. The room is separate, undisturbed, self-contained. The lamp continues to glow. Time feels less structured here. Moments do not line up in any order that matters. There is no clear sense of before or after. Awareness may begin to feel less focused. Edges soften. Attention spreads thinly, without direction. That is expected. The body responds naturally to this quiet. Muscles begin to release small tensions without instruction. There is no signal when this happens. It occurs gradually, without notice. The lamp does not react. It does not brighten or dim. It remains unchanged. The room does not require observation. It does not need to be monitored. It remains stable whether it is noticed or not. Breathing continues. In, out, unforced. The pace of everything feels slower now. Not delayed, simply unhurried. There is no sense of needing to move forward. The lamp's presence is constant. It does not draw focus. It does not recede. It simply stays. The space feels complete without effort. There are no gaps to fill. No details missing. If awareness drifts toward the light, it finds nothing to examine. If it drifts away, nothing changes. Both directions are equal. The room accepts stillness easily. It does not resist silence. It does not respond to movement. The lamp remains. Thoughts may feel further apart now. Less frequent. Less connected. They no longer arrive in full sentences. They appear as fragments, then dissolve. There is no need to hold on to them. The room does not change its shape or tone. It remains consistent, calm, and quiet. The night feels deep outside, but shallow here. Contained. Close. The lamp's glow creates a sense of boundary. Inside this boundary, nothing is expected. There is no need to stay alert. No reason to remain attentive. Rest does not require participation. It does not require agreement. It happens when attention loosens enough to allow it. The room does not mark progress. It does not indicate how close sleep may be. It offers no timeline. The lamp stays lit regardless. Awareness may begin to fade in and out now. Moments of clarity followed by moments of softness. Neither state needs to be held. The space remains unchanged through both. Breathing continues in the same quiet way. The body remains supported. Nothing shifts suddenly. The lamp remains a steady point, not as an object of focus, but as a quiet assurance of continuity. Nothing here needs to be remembered. Nothing needs to be completed. The room stays still. The light stays warm. The night remains calm. The room feels quieter now, not because anything has changed, but because there is less need to notice it. The lamp is still lit. Its presence is steady, familiar, unquestioned. It no longer stands out as an object in the room. It has become part of the background of awareness. Nothing draws attention here. Nothing asks to be named or identified. The space feels settled in a deeper way. As if it has already been accepted, and no longer needs to be checked. Breathing continues softly. In and out. Without rhythm that needs to be followed. Without any signal to adjust. The body rests within the room easily now. Not held in place. Not guided. Simply supported by stillness. Muscles loosen where they can. Not all at once. Not in any particular order. Small areas soften quietly, without instruction. There is no moment when this begins. No moment when it completes. The lamp does not mark these changes. It remains exactly as it was. The edges of thought feel further apart now. Ideas do not connect as quickly. They appear, pause, and dissolve before becoming clear. This does not need to be noticed. The room does not respond to awareness drifting. It does not change when attention fades. It remains constant, regardless of how closely it is perceived. Time feels less present here. Not absent, but irrelevant. There is no sense of moving through moments. The night outside continues, but it feels distant. Muted. Separated from this room by layers of quiet. The lamp's glow forms a gentle boundary. Inside that boundary, nothing needs to happen. Awareness may begin to narrow now. Not into focus, but into simplicity. Less detail. Less distinction. The room accepts this easily. Breathing remains calm. Unforced. Often unnoticed. The body begins to feel heavier in a neutral way. Not weighed down. Just less inclined to move. There is no reason to shift position unless it happens naturally. No need to check comfort. The lamp remains unchanged. Thoughts may appear only as fragments now. Single impressions without context. They do not ask to be completed. They pass through quietly, leaving no trace. The room does not hold on to them. Awareness drifts gently between moments of softness. There is no clear boundary between one moment and the next. The space feels continuous. Unbroken. The lamp does not indicate progress. It does not suggest how close sleep may be. It does not guide the process. It simply remains. The room feels slightly smaller now. Not confined, but contained. As if attention has settled inward, leaving the outer edges unimportant. The night remains outside. Calm. Distant. The body rests deeper into stillness. Breathing continues quietly. Muscles no longer hold as much tension as before. There is no instruction guiding this. No direction being given. It happens on its own. The lamp's presence is now almost abstract. Not something to look at. Not something to imagine. Just a constant point of warmth within the dark. Awareness no longer moves deliberately. It drifts. Pauses. Sometimes fades. There is no need to follow it. The room remains unchanged during all of this. The light stays warm. The shadows stay soft. Nothing grows brighter. Nothing disappears. There is no need to remain alert. No reason to stay awake. Rest unfolds quietly, without announcement. Without effort. The room does not react. It does not adjust. The lamp continues to glow. Thoughts may now be rare. And when they appear, they do not carry meaning. They dissolve before forming. The body remains supported by stillness. Breathing continues, calm and steady. The night remains quiet. Nothing else is required here. The room holds its quiet without effort. Nothing presses against the silence. Nothing disturbs it. The lamp remains where it is. Its light has become so familiar that it no longer feels separate from the room itself. It is simply part of the night now. Awareness moves less deliberately. Not drifting away, not focusing in. Just resting somewhere in between. Breathing continues in the background. It does not need to be noticed to remain steady. It happens whether attention is present or not. The body feels supported by stillness. There is no sense of holding itself upright. No subtle readiness to move. Muscles rest in a neutral way. Not heavy. Not tense. Simply at ease. The room does not change when awareness softens. It does not react to fading attention. It remains consistent, calm, unchanged. Thoughts appear more slowly now. And when they do, they arrive without shape. Impressions without detail. Moments without direction. They do not stay long. The lamp does not illuminate anything new. It does not reveal details. It simply maintains the same quiet presence. Time feels distant here. Not passing. Not stopping. Just irrelevant. There is no need to know how long you have been here. There is no reason to wonder what comes next. The room does not expect anything. Awareness may dip for a moment, then return softly. Or it may remain loose and unfocused. Both are allowed. Neither requires attention. The night outside feels very far away now. Muted. Separated by layers of calm that do not shift. The lamp's glow remains steady through all of this. It does not signal change. It does not guide progress. The space feels smaller in a comforting way. Contained. Quietly complete. There are no edges that need to be explored. No corners that require attention. Breathing continues. In. Out. Quiet. Unremarkable. The body responds naturally to this lack of demand. Small movements stop happening. Tension has less reason to return. The room does not record these changes. It does not acknowledge them. It simply remains. Thoughts may become rare now. And when they appear, they feel distant. As if they belong to another time. They dissolve easily. The lamp's presence is barely noticed. Not because it is gone, but because it no longer matters. The room feels complete without observation. It does not require awareness to exist. Rest settles in gently. Without effort. Without intention. There is no moment to mark this. No signal that it has begun. The night remains quiet. The room remains still. The lamp continues to glow. Nothing else needs to happen. The room feels very still now. Not silent in a noticeable way, but settled so completely that silence no longer stands out. The lamp continues to glow, unchanged. Its light does not feel warm or cool anymore. It simply exists, without quality that needs to be named. Awareness moves more slowly now. Not drifting. Not focusing. Just remaining where it is. Breathing continues without being tracked. In. Out. Quietly. Without rhythm that needs to be followed. The body feels heavier, but not weighed down. There is no pressure. No tension pulling in any direction. Muscles rest because there is no reason to hold them. They release gradually, without sequence. One area softens, then another, without pattern. There is no moment when this becomes noticeable. No signal that something has changed. The lamp does not mark time. It does not indicate progress. It remains exactly the same. Thoughts are now sparse. They do not arrive with words. They appear as faint impressions, then dissolve before forming. There is no need to follow them. No need to understand them. The room does not react to awareness fading. It remains consistent whether it is noticed or not. Time feels distant. Not moving forward. Not standing still. Simply irrelevant. The night outside feels very far away now. It no longer feels connected to this space. The room exists on its own. The lamp's glow feels less like light and more like presence. Not something to look at. Not something to imagine. Just something that is. Awareness begins to lose its edges. There is less sense of separation between thoughts, body, and space. Breathing continues. Often unnoticed. Always steady. The body no longer prepares to move. There is no readiness left. No subtle alertness. The room feels complete. There is nothing missing. Nothing to adjust. If awareness dips briefly, there is no reaction. If it returns, nothing changes. Both states pass through the same quiet. The lamp does not change when attention disappears. It does not respond. Thoughts may now appear only rarely. And when they do, they feel distant, as if they belong somewhere else. They do not stay long. The body rests deeper into stillness. Breathing remains calm. Muscles remain soft. There is no sensation calling for attention. No discomfort asking to be corrected. The room holds this stillness easily. The lamp's presence feels constant and neutral. It does not comfort. It does not disturb. It simply remains. Awareness may now fade in longer intervals. Moments of nothing, followed by moments of faint noticing. There is no difference between them that matters. The room remains unchanged. The night feels very quiet now. Not something to listen to. Just absence of interruption. The body is no longer organizing itself. No scanning. No checking. Breathing continues quietly in the background. The lamp continues to glow. There is no instruction from this point onward. No direction to follow. Rest does not require effort. It does not require permission. It arrives when awareness no longer insists on staying present. The room remains when that happens. The lamp remains. Nothing needs to be remembered. Nothing needs to be completed. The quiet deepens without being noticed. The room stays still. The light stays the same. The night continues without disturbance. Nothing else is required here. The room remains exactly as it is. Nothing has shifted. Nothing needs to. The lamp continues to glow with the same quiet presence. Its light does not feel bright or dim. It simply exists, steady and neutral. Awareness feels thinner now. Less defined. Not fading away completely, but no longer holding shape. Breathing continues somewhere in the background. It does not feel close or far. It happens without being noticed. The body feels settled into stillness. There is no sense of holding position. No subtle effort remaining. Muscles rest because there is nothing asking them to respond. They do not tighten. They do not prepare. The room does not change when awareness drifts. It remains consistent whether attention is present or not. Thoughts are rare now. And when they appear, they do not stay long enough to form. They pass through like faint impressions, leaving nothing behind. There is no need to follow them. No need to notice their absence. Time no longer feels relevant here. Not slow. Not fast. Simply unimportant. The night outside feels distant and unreal. It no longer feels connected to this room. The room exists on its own. The lamp's presence feels almost abstract now. Not something to look at. Not something to imagine. Just a quiet constant. Awareness drifts in longer pauses. Moments of nothing, followed by moments of faint noticing. Neither state asks for attention. The body remains still. Breathing continues quietly. Nothing shifts suddenly. The room feels complete. There is nothing missing. Nothing waiting to happen. The lamp does not signal change. It does not guide progress. It remains exactly the same. There is no sensation calling for attention. No discomfort asking to be adjusted. The quiet feels wide and uninterrupted. Not empty. Just calm. Awareness may soften further now. Edges blur. Details no longer separate. The room does not respond. It does not react. It simply remains. The body no longer organizes itself. No scanning. No checking. No readiness. Breathing continues without effort. In. Out. Quiet. The lamp continues to glow. There is no instruction from this point forward. No direction to follow. No next step. Rest does not arrive suddenly. It settles quietly, without notice. The room remains when awareness fades. The lamp remains. Nothing needs to be remembered. Nothing needs to be completed. The quiet continues uninterrupted. The room no longer feels like something that needs to be perceived. It exists without asking for attention. The lamp remains lit, but it no longer feels like a source of light. It feels more like a steady condition of the room. Something that continues whether it is noticed or not. There is no reason to look toward it. No reason to turn away. Breathing continues quietly, without rhythm that needs to be followed. Sometimes it is noticed. Most of the time, it is not. The body feels distant now. Not separate. Just undefined. There is no clear boundary between where the body ends and where the room begins. Only a general sense of heaviness that does not press down. Muscles rest without sequence. Not one by one. Not gradually. They rest together, all at once. The room feels wide and uncomplicated. Nothing stands out. Nothing asks to be adjusted. Thoughts are extremely rare now. And when they appear, they do not form language. They pass as vague impressions, then disappear. There is no need to follow them. No need to resist them. They do not stay long enough to matter. Time feels absent. Not slow. Not fast. Simply irrelevant. Moments no longer connect to one another. There is no sense of before or after. The lamp's presence remains steady and neutral. It does not signal comfort. It does not signal safety. It simply remains. Awareness drifts in and out without effort. Long stretches of nothing. Brief returns of faint noticing. Neither state feels different enough to be named. The room does not change during these shifts. It remains exactly the same. Breathing continues somewhere far in the background. It does not draw attention. It does not ask to be guided. The body no longer prepares for anything. There is no readiness left. No subtle alertness. The quiet feels thick and continuous. Not heavy. Just uninterrupted. There is no sound that stands out. No silence that needs to be noticed. The room holds everything without intention. Without care. Without response. Awareness may fade for longer stretches now. When it returns, nothing feels different. The lamp does not respond. The room does not react. There is nothing to remember from one moment to the next. Nothing to carry forward. Rest settles deeper without announcement. Without transition. Without signal. The body remains still. Breathing remains calm. The space feels complete. Nothing is missing. Nothing is expected. The night outside feels very far away now. Almost unreal. As if it belongs to a different place. This room exists on its own. Independent of time. Independent of attention. Awareness softens further. Edges blur. Details dissolve. There is no effort to stay awake. No effort to fall asleep. Both states blend together so completely that the difference no longer matters. The lamp continues to glow quietly. The room remains unchanged. Nothing new appears. Nothing ends. The quiet does not deepen suddenly. It simply continues. Breathing happens. Then goes unnoticed again. The body rests because there is nothing left to respond to. No sensation calls for attention. No discomfort asks to be corrected. The room remains still. The lamp remains steady. Awareness drifts, returns briefly, then drifts again. Each time, the same calm remains. There is no instruction here. No guidance. No direction. Rest does not arrive as an event. It settles gradually, unnoticed. The quiet continues smoothly. Evenly. Without interruption. Nothing else is required here. The room is no longer something to recognize. It exists without needing to be known. The lamp remains, but even the idea of light has softened. There is no brightness to compare. No darkness to contrast. Breathing continues somewhere, without pattern or count. Sometimes it is noticed. Most of the time, it is not. The body no longer feels arranged in parts. There is no sense of position. No edges to be aware of. Only a general stillness remains. Not heavy. Not light. Just present. Awareness has slowed until it no longer moves. There is no drifting forward. No pulling back. Thoughts no longer arrive as thoughts. If anything appears, it dissolves before forming. There is no need to notice this happening. It happens on its own. The room does not wait. It does not respond. It does not change. The lamp continues without variation. Without signal. Without intention. Time has no meaning here. There is no earlier. No later. Only a continuous quiet that does not move. Breathing happens somewhere far away. It does not ask for attention. It does not guide anything. The body rests because nothing remains to respond to. No sensation calls for adjustment. No impulse remains. The quiet feels even and unbroken. Not deepening. Not lifting. Awareness may fade for long stretches. When it returns, nothing feels different. The room remains unchanged. The lamp remains steady. There is no memory carried forward. Nothing accumulates. Nothing resolves. Rest settles without being noticed. without arrival, without departure. The body is completely still. Breathing continues quietly, or perhaps not noticed at all. There is no effort to remain aware. No effort to let go. Both happen naturally. The space feels complete without requiring attention. Nothing is missing. Nothing is expected. The lamp's presence is now almost abstract. Not something seen. Not something imagined. Just continuity. The room holds this state easily. Without intention. Without care. Awareness thins further. Edges disappear. There is no center to return to. The quiet continues evenly. Smoothly. Without interruption. Nothing begins. Nothing ends. The room remains. The lamp remains. There is nothing to remember. Nothing to finish. Rest continues on its own. Breathing continues without shape. Without rhythm. Without direction. The body no longer feels separate from the space around it. There is no boundary to cross. The quiet does not deepen suddenly. It simply continues. Awareness drifts without movement. It does not leave. It does not stay. The room remains unchanged whether awareness is present or not. The lamp remains exactly the same. There is no signal that something has happened. No indication of change. Rest does not arrive as an event. It is already present. The body rests without instruction. Without sequence. Without effort. The quiet stretches without limit. Not expanding. Not shrinking. Just continuing. There is no need to follow anything now. No need to listen. No need to notice. The room exists without requiring attention. The lamp exists without meaning. Awareness fades naturally. Returns briefly. Fades again. Each time, the same stillness remains. There is no tension left anywhere. No subtle readiness. Only rest. The room holds this state without difficulty. Without effort. Nothing changes. Nothing needs to. The quiet remains uninterrupted.